Hello guys, welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest channel and podcast. If you have not subscribed yet, please do go ahead and hit that subscribe button. So let's have a reality chat. Now, I've not discussed 90 Day Fiance on my platform before, but it is a show that I watch here and there. And it's one of those shows that has really intrigued me over the years because one, it's crazy to me that people are to this place where they feel like they can't find anyone where they're from, so they go all across the world to find someone. And sometimes it happens because people travel and they work in these other places and they met the people there. So in those situations, I'm not really talking about that. I'm more so talking about the people who, go online and find someone overseas. But whatever. I wanted to specifically talk about this one couple. This is on the most recent season of 90 Day Fiance. This guy, his name is Bilal, and he is engaged. So they're engaged, all right? They're not just dating. This woman from Trinidad and Tobago by the name of Shaeeda. I'm not sure if it's Shaeeda, however she pronounces her name. Sorry if I messed that up. But they are engaged. He was previously married for, I believe, over 10 years, and his ex-wife, current children's mother, her first name is actually a little bit similar to his now current fiance's name, which is kind of ironic. But he says that whenever he talks to her on the phone, when they're doing FaceTime or Skype or whatever, they're using to do video chat, he is always just in his house with the white wall behind him. He's never showed her where he lives, what his house looks like, what he's driving or anything like that. So what he's doing is he's going to test her to see if she really loves him or for the things that he has. So instead of using his car to go and pick her up from the airport, he uses like this white panel van, like a work van, to go and pick her up from the airport. Okay, maybe not that big of a deal. But then he goes to take her to stay at the house that he grew up in, which, to be honest with you, for me, I was kind of like, well, who's living in that house now? You grew up in that house, so how did you just get to go and stay there? And if you're staying there for the night to see how she will react to a more humble abode, a more humble, place to stay in, what does that really say about you? Because if you're going to get into a marriage where it's supposed to be trust and communication, you're starting out the relationship in terms of you staying together in the United States for the 90 days. You could get married before the 90 days, but you have up until 90 days before the person has to leave because you brought them here on a K-1 visa saying that you intend to be married. And so you're starting out by not communicating, basically saying, look, I've been through some things. I worked hard for everything that I have. I need to know that I can trust you. And so are you with me for what I have, or are you with me because you are with me? And then there's a such thing as a prenuptial agreement, okay? If she says, yeah, I'm with you for you, and say, okay, we'll approve it. I'm going to have you sign a prenuptial agreement, basically saying if the marriage doesn't work out, you can't take anything, you're not entitled to anything that I had before you came into this union. And, if we choose to do things together and we build things and grow together, then you can, definitely partake in some of that. If she's questioning that and all of those different things, then yeah, maybe bring that up at that point. But to start off the relationship by lying, he's lying, but he's saying that he has a right to do it because he wants to make sure that she's just not with him for the money. So on this most recent episode, he goes to pick her up from the airport. She was like, okay, but she's riding with him, and then they get to the house. The house is dilapidated. And that's what I was talking about, the home. Who's actually living in the house right now? Because the fact that you were able to stay there and you had things set up, I don't know. I don't want to assume someone is living there, but there was a lot of things that needed to be done. Like the ceiling was dropping, the outside of the house, the crawl space area. It was a mess. It really was a mess. And I don't think it was right to expect her to pull up to this place when she's coming from a completely different country and leaving everything that she had pretty much behind to come and live with him in the United States. A lot of people feel that, well, anyone that's coming to the United States, they need to be grateful and it's a gift to them. But if they're used to the way that things are in their home, and I don't really know what her living accommodations were when she was living in Trinidad and Tobago, but I don't think most people want to come from bad to worse or to go from bad to bad again. It's not unrealistic to have her feel a certain type of way. So I don't think it's fair if he's viewing her in that way because she has some questions and some hesitations about, his life and how he's living, to think that, well, she's not with me for me, she's with me for what she thinks that I have, and that's not fair. Because he was pretty impetuous. He proposed to Shaeeda after spending 1 week with her in Trinidad and Tobago when he traveled to meet her. So there's that. There's that alone. So he goes to pick her up in the van. And then he said, I'm really hoping to see if her words match up with her actions. She told me she's a ride or die. So let's put that to the test. That ride or die statement, I think that needs to die, because I do believe that people have non-negotiables. I do believe that there should be like, this is not something that I can stand for, or this isn't what I want. And she has the right to say what she wants. Period. She's not a 17-year-old girl. She's 37 years old. So we're not talking about little kids here. She called the van a Scooby-Doo van, and it was trash. In the van, she said that it was completely unacceptable. And then she said that she felt like he had always been really secretive with her when the cameras, the camera phone. But she knew that he had to have a certain level of wealth because he was supposedly, like she says, successfully flipping houses for a living. And I felt like she had the right to feel that way, because if you're so successful, she's questioning, if you really are successful, why are you living this way? And it's not just about the money, it's about truth and honesty. If you really aren't living a certain type of way, why are you coming to visit me with Louis Vuitton bags? Like, for real, she's questioning, are you who you really say that you are? So she's like, what's next? What do I expect now? So, of course, it got worse when they pulled up to the house. It was like, she was like, I wasn't expecting this. Are there any rats in the kitchen? And because the ceiling is falling down right now, and I don't even know like who you are, because you showed up in this panel van, and I'm not comfortable moving to a first world country like the United States and having to live like I am in the 1900s. And so she's questioning, like, who are you really? And I feel that she had the right to feel that way. I don't believe it has anything to do with her being a gold digger or just wanting him for his money. He was the one that proposed to her after a week. So, I mean, come on now. She didn't beg him to get married. He proposed to her after a week of spending time with her. Like, are you kidding me? So to try to now put her to the test to see, well, I'm going to see how she reacts to my childhood home and staying here for the first night and see how she is, and will she really want to be with me or just want me for the money that she thinks that I have? So I'm just giving my thoughts and being honest. I do believe that she had the right to feel the way that she was feeling, because he wasn't considering her feelings coming all the way from the country that she was at to come and live with him, and them supposedly getting married soon, very soon, to not know what she was coming to. And you're coming to visit her with Louis Vuitton luggage and wearing expensive clothing. Of course, she's thinking that you're someone that's working hard and you are showcasing it in the life and lifestyle that you're living. So she's wondering, like, okay, were you coming to me with stuff that you really didn't own? You were renting the things, or someone was, allowing you to borrow the stuff so that you could act like to me that you really had it going on like that, but you really don't. And you deceived me to come to this country when you really don't have it like that. And then you expect me to struggle along with you. I don't think that that was fair. And so for anyone that wants to call this woman a gold digger, I don't believe that that should be the case. She said, I still love Bilal, but I'm worried that he's not being real. I think that he's a little delusional with carrying this image and living in the Caribbean, we call it a 2x4 home. So she's basically saying the person that he presented himself to me to be when he was coming to visit me is a completely different person from what he's showcasing and it seems to be living here in the United States. So I do believe that she had the right to feel that way, because it's like, did you deceive me? Did you say that you had, this workaholic lifestyle and you were working really hard and you built up and grinded and now, you're successful in your career, but you actually may not even be doing real estate. You may not even be flipping houses and being successful at it like you said that you are. She's questioning not just the stuff that he is saying that he has, like the van and the house, but were you lying to me overall, period? And I don't believe that he was considering her feelings in that. He was just being selfish from a stance of, well, I'm a man. I worked hard for everything that I have. If she wants to be with me, I'm going to put her to the test to see if she really wants me or if she wants the money. And I mean, honestly, when he said that they were going to sleep at that house for the night and then he was going to take her to his real home the next day, that doesn't even make any sense. To test someone's loyalty and love for you overnight. That person, he could have taken her to the real home that he lived in, and it could be several months or even several years and some things come out. It just doesn't work that way. Marriage is work. Relationships are work. Definitely marriage is a lot of work. And you really are putting your faith to the test when you decide to get with someone and say, I'm going to be in a relationship with this person and I'm going to exchange vows and make it legal. So for you to go to this place of, well, I'm just going to test it one day and see if she really likes me for me or if she likes me for what I have. I feel that it is really ridiculous. It was very childish and stupid, in my opinion, for him to expect her to be any way than what she really was. I'm just being 100% honest when I talk about that, because I do believe that unless she came from a place of, I would say, because again, I don't know what home she lived in, but unless you're bringing someone over here from like they were living in a hut, somewhere, or maybe homeless, to not act the way that she was acting when they know that what you were presenting to them was a lifestyle of success and living I won't even say luxurious lifestyle, but living a lifestyle of one that's worked hard, has earned great money, and has been enabled to enjoy some things that are considered as luxuries, like the luggage that he was carrying and the clothing that he was wearing, period. It's like, did you forget that you were doing those things? So for him to be disappointed in how she was reacting, I just feel that he wasn't being realistic. But we're going to continue to see what comes of this show. 90 Day Fiance is one of those crazy shows that I'm kind of addicted to. It's sometimes a train wreck. Sometimes it's like, aw. But honestly, it's like, it's craziness a lot of times. And I'm just really interested to see what comes of this situation. But I would really love to know, like, are you guys watching 90 Day Fiance? And what do you think about this couple in particular? Do you believe that he was being unrealistic with the reaction that he was going to get from her? Or was she a person that was expecting to come and be in this palatial palace and was disappointed when it didn't look the way that she was hoping for it to be? You can let me know your thoughts about all of this in the comment section.